Hello everybody, this is Bird Brain. We are ready for the birdies. Our second day of free agency discussion, but nonetheless we have something to talk about. A big trade went down today. A lot of fans are upset, so let's just talk about why it happened. In case you guys did not know, Gardner-Johnson was traded to the Houston Texans in exchange for Kenyon Green, and there was an exchange of 2026 draft picks. And I'll be honest, it was an upsetting trade to see, very shocking. A lot of fans had speculation on why this deal happened. You know, was it a locker room thing? Was it a, what was going on? Was it a culture problem? Concerns. A lot of rampant rumors and a lot of upset people. And people mad at Howie and this front office. And I think now, obviously you let feelings prevail. I kind of let the day pass by in case there's any corresponding moves. The thing we have to constantly remind ourselves is this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. We are on day 2 of legal tampering, and the offseason has just begun. I mean, the new league year hasn't even technically started yet. That's tomorrow. So we've got plenty of time to figure out stuff. I think the Eagles, they knew going into this offseason this was not going to be a year they were going to bring in a lot of big-name contracts, and they were going to lose some people. And to be honest, with the exception of CJ, I haven't really been all that shocked who we lost. And it feels like, if they sign any free agents, which they're the only team yet to sign a free agent, it's going to be a lot of bargain bin shopping, which is fine. And the thing is, too, the longer you wait, and the longer some of these free agents go unsigned, the better the chance you can get a good deal. And that's what you kind of want here. Anyway, so let's talk more about specifically this trade and what it really means and why they did it. Well, a lot of it really just surrounds money. So CJ was on a 3-year deal. This is the second year of his 3-year deal. Not a ton of guaranteed money. And I think the Eagles really just wanted to clear up space more so in future seasons so that they are able to pay some of these guys coming up. Because, let's be honest, we're watching some of these contracts this offseason. I mean, Milton Williams is your 3rd highest paid defensive tackle in the league, and he got $26 million. What the heck do you think Carter's going to get next year when he's eligible to get paid? My guess is somewhere around 35. That's a lot of money. You're going to have to pay Nolan Smith. Edge rushers are making anywhere from like 20 to 35 million, depending on status, so he'll probably be up there in contract money. You're looking at, another year further, you got to think about Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. You got Cam Jurgens this year to figure out. You have all these contracts for your key players, and you just got to figure out how you're going to pay it. So, you're coming off a Super Bowl. It's a little better than 2023. It's a little easier to say goodbye to these guys and make deals. So, with CJ, I don't think it's anything personal. I think it's just, hey, this is a move that's going to help us more so in the future. As for Kenyon Green, I mean, I'm not the biggest Kenyon Green fan. I don't think he's been one of the, to be blunt, he's been one of the worst guards in the league. Who knows, maybe Jeff Stoughton can turn him into something. You never know with these guys. And at worst, he's a decent backup option on offense. But if the fact is that the best you could get for CJ right now, after his season, was Kenyon Green, I think that tells you everything you need to know about how the league views him. This was not a trade I think the Eagles are going to win, obviously. But it's a trade that they kind of had to do. This is a eat your veggies type of moment for this team. You've paid all these expensive contracts. You've had all this really nice... You think about it as almost like having this really nice steak, right? And, like ice cream and cake and all this other things like that. But now you got to eat your vegetables. Now you got to get healthy. It's like the second day of New Year's. It's like, okay, you got to stick to your New Year's resolution. You got to get on that diet a little bit, save a little money, put some money aside for the future, and make good, smart investments. That's how good teams stay good, and this is what all the championship caliber teams go through. You look at the Chiefs in 2022, they traded Tyreek Hill. Tyrann Mathieu left. A couple other players left that offseason. And people were like, oh, this is it. The Chiefs are done with. They're over. They're going to be bad. They're not going to be good. This is it. This is the dynasty's going to die. And they've won 2 Super Bowls since and been to a 3rd. You know, you look at a team like Buffalo. Buffalo had Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. You know, they had all these players, and they moved off of these guys. And people thought, oh, Buffalo's going to suck this year. They're not going to be all that good. Lo and behold, they make the AFC Championship. You have to consistently be able to make good decisions to keep your contending team a contender. And if you have one of those guys, a quarterback especially, a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, then you can be able to get it done. And I think the Eagles have a guy just like that in Jalen Hurts. You know, a lot of the core of the offense is still together, and they're going to be together for a while. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata. On defense, I don't suspect a guy like Jalen Carter's going anywhere, or Quinyon, or Cooper, or Nolan Smith, Zach Bond. Like, you have your key players. Everybody else is technically, I guess in the organization's eyes, more replaceable. So yeah, if they get a good deal, and I'm sure if someone else will call about a player, and if someone else offers up a third for, say, I don't know, if someone calls the Eagles and offers up a third for Dallas Goedert, they make that trade. I doubt that's going to happen because the Eagles' asking price is just a fourth, which, if they have an asking price, it means it's probably going to be even less than that. So, they're trying to clear up cap space for the future, trying to be able to build a championship caliber team, and they're a good drafting team. That's the other thing. Like, a lot of the reason why you've been able to move off of guys is because you are a good drafting team. You're not solely dependent on a good free agency because you can knock it out the park in the draft. You know, take, for example, 2023's free agency. It was a very quiet free agency where you signed a lot of cheap guys and older guys on the cheap contracts. But then the draft class, you know, you get Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. You know, you got Keely Ringo, who could now be your starting corner. You got Sidney Brown, who could now be your starting safety. Mauro Jono could be one of your starting D tackles. You've got guys in the room. And that's why, you know, I kind of can't panic too much about it. And I have way too much faith in the organization to say that, like, this team's going to be done for. And, look, I'll be honest, this free agency class, not all that special in my opinion. I mean, it's just a lot of guys that, you know, I don't know, not a lot of guys that I think would have come here and been starters. Now, some of them will have to be just because of the nature of having spots open, but not a lot of guys I thought would vastly improve this team talent-wise. And frankly, you kind of see the same sentiment from the league. I mean, day one of free agency, everything was, you know, your phone was blowing up, you know, eventually when Twitter was working, and, you know, all these deals and signings were announced. But other than that, nada. Today, it's been very, very quiet, and there's not been a lot of movement. I mean, the fact that, like, Daniel Jones is one of the bigger free agents on the market tells you everything you need to know about the free agent market. We will be okay. And if you don't believe so, take off your green and the door is that way. Anyways, this is Bird Brain. Just hope you guys enjoyed this little mini rant. We'll keep doing these videos reacting to free agency news every day. Fly, Eagles, fly. See you guys around.